The real joy. The the beauty. The
Something in my nose.
you got boogers?
Oh my God, that was...
I see your growth, it's amazing. Always evolving on the daily. She got a smile that's contagious. Got hella joy, don't let them take it.
So welcome back to part 2. And now I want y'all to know, this is a transition. Because before y'all were talking to Jamie, but now y'all gonna talk to Boussi on lock. So tell the people
who Boussi is.
Who Boussi is.
For sure. Let's start. Wait, let me tell the people where Boussi came from.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
The origin of Boussi.
Exactly. So my last name is Boussico. Is Haitian Creole. My husband's Haitian. So when I was getting married,
that's not Haitian.
Sac passe.
Okay.
Ma boule.
Okay.
So when I was getting married, right, my friends were like, "Oh, Boussico, we're gonna call you Boussi." I'm like, "No, you're not going to call me Boussi. Absolutely not."
And now you.
I got married. Somebody said, "Hey, yo, Boussi badass." I was like,
I like that.
I like that. So Boussi stuck. And so when I was forming my business, I was just like, I want my name somehow integrated into my business. And so one day I was just like, I got it, Boussi on lock.
And it stuck.
It stuck. So now everybody calls me Boussi. That's my nickname. I embrace it. I love it.
People don't know that.
My name is Jamie.
Jamie, no.
Like, that's the funny part.
Is Boussi here?
Right.
Boussi?
It's Boussi
My appointment with Boussi? Boussi.
Right. You be like, Jamie? No, Boussi.
Boussi. I'm here to see Boussi.
Right. So y'all know it's Boussi. Yeah, so that's how, the name Boussi on Lock came into play.
We like that. That's cute.
I like that.
So why did you take the Sister Lock class?
So I took the Sister Lock course. Actually, so when I took it, my mom had Sister Locks and I had Sister Locks at the time, right? And so Amini Nelson, she is the one who started pouring into me in terms of like encouraging me to do Sister Locks. She was like, "You can do it." I was like, no. But I started playing around with my mom's hair, started doing retightnings and whatnot, or retightening a few here and there. And she was like, "Jay, take the class." And I was just like, absolutely not. But you know me, right? I sit on stuff for so long. And then
out of nowhere,
I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do today.
I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Right. Out of nowhere. I'm like, yep, this is what I'm going to do.
And I'm going
to do it. And that's what I did. I signed up for the course. It was a 4-day course in Baltimore. So my mom was like, all right, let's go. Let's pack. We literally took a road trip, me and the kids, my mom. She stayed in the hotel with them for 4 days while I went to class all 4 days, right? So I took the class, came back home, and I was just like, okay, here we go. So I think I had one client already waiting for me. And so with the class, you got to do 3 heads, turn it in, get it approved, da-da-da-da-da-da. So I had my clients waiting for me. But I originally took the class because I'm like, I got a lot of kids.
A lot of them.
Don't do too much.
Like 6.
Feels like 6 every day. I got 3 kids. That's a lot of kids, And so I was like, wow, these kids are expensive, right? And, me and my husband, Manny, we like to travel. So we was like, hey, we got to fund this lifestyle now, right?
We're going to live.
Exactly. That's the one thing we're going to do. We're going to live. And so I was just like, well, this is an extra stream of income. And so that's how I, got into doing Sister Locks. And I absolutely hated it.
I feel you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I hated it. It took forever. My body hurt. Couldn't stand it. But I stuck with it. And going into the pandemic, I probably had 7 to 10 clients.
Yeah.
I was cool with that. I was doing it part-time. I was working, full-time. By that point, I had moved back to Connecticut. Right. And so I was working at Achievement First as a college counselor.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that full time. And I was doing this part time after working full time, come home from traveling. Remember that? Traveling.
All over.
Exactly. I would take a client every night in my basement. And so that's how I started off. And going into the pandemic, I only had like 7 to 10 clients, and I was content with that. I was like, all right, this is good.
Coming out of the pandemic.
What? I was like, whoa, who is this? How did we get here?
For sure.
And where am I going? Because my clientele like quadrupled.
I was about to say, like, it seemed, and I was at her house during this time, and I just remember, like, I loved being in the basement with you, like, while you were doing an install or doing somebody's hair. I loved the conversation. I just loved the whole vibe of it. So it was kind of like I was, like, there before I was there because, like, everyone just, like, I knew all your clients and everything like that. But it blew up. Like, I remember just more people kept coming.
Because the world shut down. Salons shut down.
The world shut down. People didn't know what to do with their hair.
Right.
People were like, what is going on?
People panicked.
And
they were like...
either shaving their head or getting locks.
Right. And so people started reaching out more and more. And I'm like, yeah. Come. Next thing you know, I was working full time.
Yes.
And doing hair full time.
I remember you would have like your laptop on Zoom with students, you know, and then like still trying to navigate through. And then I remember you having a conversation with your husband. And you told me that you had that conversation. You were like, I think I have to go full time. I have to pick one, right? I have to pick one or the other. Like, and you're like, I think I'm going to go this route. And I remember you went to Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Manny was just like, huh? You going to do what? He was like, yeah, no. That's ridiculous. And I was just like, no, I'm serious. I think I have enough clientele where I can go full time and leave my job. And he was just like, absolutely not. You know, because that 9 to 5, I know what I was getting paid every 2 weeks. You
Sick time, vacation time.
Exactly.
Retirement. Like, you got to think about all that. Yeah.
Right. And when you go into business for yourself, I don't know what I'm getting every week. I don't know who's going to show up, how many clients I'm going to have. But I was, like, willing to take that risk. I'm going to step out on faith type of girl. Every time. I'm a risk taker, and I'm going to step out on faith every single time. But my husband sat on it for like 2 weeks, and he ended up coming back to me. He was just like, you know what? If this is what you want to do, if you think this is the right time, who am I to stand in your way?
Yeah, let's do it.
He was like, worst case scenario, you can always go back to work.
Exactly.
Another thing about me, I'm going to keep food on the table now.
I don't know what I got to do.
I don't know what I got to do.
But I'm going to do it.
I'm going to keep food on that table now, okay?
My kids going to eat.
Right, my kids going to eat. Whether I got to be Jamie, OG, or Boussi, kids going to eat, right?
For sure. Oh, for sure.
Right. And so October 1st, 2021, I went into business full time, and I have never looked back.
Like,
it was the best decision I could have ever made for myself professionally.
And I love to say this tagline, favor ain't fair, because when I tell you, you've never posted an ad in no newspaper, you never had a billboard, when I tell you, people are constantly flowing in.
Yes,
like, it's like,
to the very
how
day.
have you not locked up the whole Connecticut yet? I'm like, where are these people coming from?
I know.
And it's to the point where I'm like around town and I see someone, I'll be like, who do your hair? Like, how you got such a locks? And like,
right. You ain't been to the stew.
You ain't been to the stew.
Like, who did that?
Like, yes, it's just such a blessing just to be able to see how it took off for you.
Yeah. Sure.
And then kind of like explain to them, because I know I said at one point in time, your loctician, I think, wasn't taking clients, right, because of the pandemic?
Right.
Yeah, and I remember I was at the house with you, and we were in your dining room. We were just sitting there chatting, playing around, and you was like, Ev, do my hair.
For sure.
I was like, what you want me to do, braid it, put it in the ponytail? Because she always like wants some braids or something. So I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? She's like, no, take this tool and retighten it.
She was like, retighten? How do I do that? I said, girl, figure it out. Just go through each entry point until you don't have any more new growth.
And I said, what if I mess it up?
I was like, it'll be all right.
You say, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And literally, Ev got the tool and she started retightening my hair.
Literally.
Lock by lock.
It's so weird because I just remember like doing it.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? Because that's like, I think it's like even deeper than what we even realize, right? Because you're talking about my hair.
That you've invested.
I've invested
These
hundreds.
things are about
I
the
paid
foundation.
For me, at the time it was hundreds.
Okay,
now it's
100.
thousands, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I invested hundreds of. You talking about my locks, my crown?
Tightenings.
Exactly.
This has been a whole like.
And here I was handed you the tool without even thinking about it. So again, right, going back to like our dynamic, our bond, our vibe, it was actually no question. It was no question, and that was something that was established. Again, I gotta take it back to Wheelock and everything that you did for me on that campus. Like that's where that trust, that dynamic, that vibe, that energy, everything was really established there. Because look at how much you guys looked out for me there. Like, y'all make sure I ate in more ways than one. More ways than one. Y'all make sure I ate every single day.
Okay.
Right? So it just goes back to like, that's why I say like stuff is so much deeper than what we realize.
Yeah.
Because it was like no question for me to hand you that tool and be like, get it done.
And I feel like that expectation from you comes with a lot of things, right? Like when you're talking about, so we're talking about your hair to now bringing me into your business.
Yes.
That is like a huge, like for someone to trust you and believe in you like that and then bring you into something, they put the grind, the money, because I didn't take the sister lock. You went and took that class. That was your investment. And to teach me everything you knew and give it to me, like I think that even looking back on that trust, and it's like.
Do you remember how that started?
I remember you came to me and was just like, no. Everything with Jamie starts as a joke. Everything with Jamie starts as a joke. So we were talking one day and she was like, you about to take some of these clients.
For sure.
I'm like, girl, goodbye. I'm not doing that.
Sure.
And then she'll like keep kind of, when you going to take a client? Like, I'm not taking a client. Like, that's not happening.
Right.
So then she really came to me seriously one day. It was like, hey, she gave me the time sheet, me do it, the person. That's how I remember it.
Well, something like that.
Okay.
But initially, right, I was just like, I had just gotten into a full time and I was like super overwhelmed. I wasn't even able to get back to people in a timely manner.
Okay.
Right? The emails, the DMs, the work phone, the personal phone. It was a lot. Social media. Right? Creating reels and all that other stuff. And I was like, Eb, I need some help. Like, I need some serious help. And you're about to take one of these clients, but I need some help. So you started creating content for me.
For you.
And answering the business phone, the emails,
and the DMs.
And you started setting up my consultations.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So, and for that, that's a lot of pressure. But it's this thing of, I never thought about saying no.
And I never thought about like you being able to do it for me. And I didn't even there was no training. I was just like, yep, you got that.
Log in on your phone, do that. And like, that's another thing with Jamie. She will have so much trust in you that she won't give you like a blueprint. She'll give you the idea and make you come up with it. Like
make it
yours. Yeah. I was make it your own. Do what you want to do with it. So I think just knowing that this person has this trust in you and they're just like waiting to see you like take off with it. It's like almost like this false confidence it gives you, right? Like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I'm going to figure it out as I do it. I'm going to just do it.
Right.
Just fake it till you make it. Just do it.
You got this.
Yeah. And I think that's how things started flowing. Like I said, I took that client and I remember at first, I took the client who is not my client today, but then there was also other ones, and I don't think we ever talked about this. It would like hurt my feelings, like when people would come to me one time, and then like I would never hear from them again because I'm like, what did I do? Like, did I mess up? I know that my speed wasn't the best,
right?
But I
kept telling you it's gonna get there.
It's gonna get better. She would tell me, I'm like, I don't think she's gonna call me back because, and they're like, no, she will. She will. Like, no, she will not. She's not calling me back. Like,
she will.
But yes, I think just that encouragement, just like, and I always say, Jamie think I could do anything.
Oh, for sure.
Jamie think I could build a house. She think I could fix a car.
Lay down carpet.
Anything. So just having someone to like always just believe in you and see the potential, I think just kind of led us down this path of like where we are now.
For sure.
So I have my own LLC, The Real Joy of Beauty, and you have Boussi on Lock. But we collaborate a lot, and I think the whole point of us is like we like to collaborate. There's like no competition, right? Like there's never this competitive, like even like people will come to her and then come to me for like consultations, and they'll end up like going with either or, and it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. And when they come in, we're like, hey, how are you? Like they're weirded out.
They're weird
more than like we are.
They're trying to tiptoe. Me or you.
They'll like say certain things like, I just didn't go that route because sister locks. Okay, so actually let's break it down. Yeah. So for installs, I do micro lock installs, and Jamie does micro lock and sister lock because she took that training, that 4-day training. She has a certificate. She has everything for it. I actually cannot do sister locks. Right. So that is like the difference. But a lot of times, even when people pick micro locks, Jamie sometimes will be like, okay, well, I think Ebony is the better loctician for you because of the style you want. If you want 2-strand twists, she's really good at that. She likes to do more. She likes 2-strand twists too, but you're good at interlocking. Yeah. So you like handle more of those. Or if they want them smaller to look like sister locks. Right. I feel like that's kind of how we like divvied it up.
Yeah, for sure. Right. And also to our calendars too.
And it just depends on timing and calendar. Available. But that's still such an unsaid thing.
It is.
Like you never sat down and like, okay, so when this consultation come in, you're gonna get one.
Right.
I'm gonna get one. No. And then like it's
always so natural. It flows perfectly. It ends up working out. And like you said, we don't ever feel any type of way. There's no competition. Like there is no competition around these parts
at all.
We want no parts of competition.
And people will like say it to us as if like they don't understand how it's not. Like, y'all be careful. Because I seen friends like moving with each other. I see friends do this and it doesn't work out. So just be careful. And we like,
y'all sure y'all want to do that?
Yeah, y'all sure y'all want to share? It's like, and it's like just a competition piece is just not, it just doesn't exist. No,
it doesn't exist. Absolutely not. And we talk about our differences, right? We each bring so many different, our talents are different. Different perspectives, just how we do things, how we see things. We have a different eye for certain things. And so that adds to the dynamic. That's why it works. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even with my business, when you started doing content for me, right? Because you have like this eye. The one thing about Ebony or Joy, the real Joy, she will study something, will watch videos, will look at other people's contents and dissect it, and she gonna get that thing. That's why my tagline is Ebony got it, Eb got it, Eb do it. Go see Eb, because you study these things, you research, you look at you listen to lives. I don't do all that.
Yeah.
I don't do all that. And so when you started doing content for me, my followers doubled. I had those videos you did that went viral that were mine. Yeah. You did them. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that just speaks to why the dynamic, you know what I mean, us being business partners and we just go with the flow and wherever it takes us, it just takes us because we have different talents.
Yeah. And I think too, like our temperament also plays in that when we talk about celebrating our differences. I think the way that we deal with conflict in the real time versus behind the scenes. Right. I think that you're really good with dealing with it in the moment, right? Like keeping everything. But then like later on when the doors are shut, I'm like, nah, like we got to turn up. Like we got to
flip these tables.
Yeah, like this can't happen again.
Right.
So I think that plays such a good part. Like that's just such a good dynamic that we have as well. So,
right. And another thing that's unspoken is the pieces, what you have, you push me as a professional, right? As a business owner. It's just like, well, why don't you have this? Why aren't you doing this? Where's your policies? Because I'm actually a bad business person. I lead with my heart, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. Come on, I'll do your hair anyway. No, it's okay. Come on. No, it's all right.
And I'm like in the corner, like
No.
No, ma'am.
Like, I hear you, but no.
Yeah, I get it, right?
Exactly.
Like, I definitely get it,
Right.
but no.
So you challenge me to be a better business person, a better business owner, you know what I mean? And to like really stand on business and be firm and hold myself accountable, hold my clients accountable for certain things. So all of that, just so y'all know, that came from the real joy.
Now you're going to have your clients mad.
It wasn't me. Yep. It was her.
Yeah, and we about to come out with that square link. So when y'all need to reschedule them appointments last minute, you could click that square. It's going to say Boussi. You go on there and you reschedule your own appointments, okay?
For
okay.
Sure.
Thank you. But yes, I think that this is just such a nice way to celebrate and to like really like sit down and like solidify just because I feel like we just go through the motions every day and like but we never really like give each other, this, like, that is huge. Like, going into business, I feel like we both kind of fell into entrepreneurship.
For sure.
I kind of, like, my heart goes out to the entrepreneurs who really, like, have these, like, set plans, and they've just been going at it for so long. And, like, don't give up. Like, like, your time is going to be your time. My heart really goes out because I can't imagine, like, wanting that and, like, not being able to, like, bust that door down.
It's like right here. It's just like,
So
sometimes you got to scratch the whole plan. You got to scratch that whole, the blueprint, the business plan and everything. And just like,
what you have.
You gotta start
I
with
think
what
that
you
is
have.
huge. Like, start with what you have. If I could, like, we could just give any, like, quick, like, what we've learned to this moment. Right. I think that there's a lot of times where I've, like, walked into an empty studio and in my mind I have this vision and, like, it's probably going to cost like $1,200 for me to do that. But I start with what I have. Right. I have a chair, I have a mirror, and you just build on as time goes. So I think like that is a huge piece. Right. What about you? What would be like your advice to give to someone who is a new business owner or someone trying to like bust in the door of entrepreneurship?
Right. I think definitely trust the process. Like, and it's such a term that I think is like overused, it's so cliche, but it's so true. Like in everything you do, you really truly have to trust the process, stay encouraged. You have to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Like I have to remind myself to give myself grace.
Yeah.
Like
all the time.
All the time, because it's just like you will leave, you know what I mean? At the end of your day, sometimes you leave feeling so defeated. Or, at the end of this class, it's like, wow, that didn't quite go how I thought, how I planned for it to go, right? And so sometimes you just got to like give yourself grace, scratch the plan. You got to trust the process. It's just like, stick with it.
Yeah.
Just stick with it.
And I think back and trust yourself. Trust the process and trust yourself. Like you got to this point somehow. Trust that vision that you have in your head. Right. Trust that voice. Trust that when you go to sleep at night, that voice that's just like keeping you up with that. You can see it. If you can see it, you can do it. Right. Just take every little steps and like really ask God to just order your steps on how to get there, because it starts with the little things. And in the moment, it's not going to seem like it's big, but when you look back, you're going to be like, that step is what got me here. So,
right. And find your people.
Find your people. Find your village.
Who pour into you. Right. And that's why like I love pouring into others because folks poured into me.
Yeah.
Amini especially really poured into me, encouraged me as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And then you continuously pour into me. You have to find your people, your prayer circle, you know what I mean?
Keep it tight.
Yeah, keep it tight. Keep it tight.
Keep it
and it's
secure.
mighty. Yeah, definitely.
But yes, thank you for sitting down with me. I'm so glad that y'all were able to meet Boussi.
I want to come back.
Yeah, she'll be back. But we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Real Joy Podcast. I hope today's conversation brought you closer to finding your own joy and left you feeling inspired. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you like what you heard, share it with your circle. It might be just the thing they need. Let's keep growing, glowing, and finding joy together. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember to keep it relaxed, relatable, and real. See you soon.
Work and see you making moves. The chosen one, we steady choosing you. She dope as hell, plus she a Libra too.